What up, people? Welcome back for another spectacular Mr. Coach O video. Woo! Woo! Hey. Wait, what period is for? Wow. So we are continuing our discussion on the packet you guys are working on for homework. Remember, the second and third page is going to be your homework. We did the first page together, and now we're going to do the last page together because it has a little bit of extra stuff I want to talk about on there. So, table below represents 244 responses about 9th and 10th graders' favorite pets. So first off, they gave us the relative frequency table first, and that's fine because we're going to be able to reconstruct our actual table later, but we're going to focus now on what's actually happening within my project. So we're going to find our missing blanks. So we look at our guys here. We got birds. The missing number for birds, 0.012 plus 0.029 is 0.041. Missing number for dogs, we're going to subtract our total and our 9th graders to find how many dogs were liked by 10th graders, which is 0.263. For Frisch, okay, I want to take my total and subtract again the 10th graders that like Frisch, which is 0.090. And then my total is, I can either add all the way across my 10th grade column, or I can keep it simple on myself and subtract the 9th graders that I know from the 10th graders that I don't, which adds to 0.481. Okay, so I've completed my relative frequency table, and we're going to answer these questions. What percentage of respondents preferred cats? So again, we got to read it and make sure what we've got going on. Are we talking about the entire sample space, or are we specifically talking about somebody? So because it wants to know percent of respondents, that's talking about everyone. It wants to know out of everyone how many preferred cats. So when I look at my table, I find the cat total. So my cat total there, and I'm going to set that over top of the actual total. But I don't need to do that because I've already got the relative frequency, which is 30.348. And because it wants it in a percentage, to convert that decimal to a percentage, we multiply by 100. I know 34.8% of people prefer cats. And I got that piece of information from the margin of my table, like the margins on the outside of your paper. So that would be a marginal frequency. Our next one, what is the most popular pet? So I look at all my totals. Birds came in at 0.041, cats at 0.348, dogs at 0.48, and Frisch at 0.131. So obviously dogs are the best. Go dogs, sick 'em. How many more people voted for that pet than the least popular pet? So I'm going to take my dog's number, so I got 0.48, and I'm going to subtract the least popular pet, and that is a bird. Not a lot of bird fans in here. Yep, nobody likes Auburn either. So 0.041, and now because it's not asking for a percentage, it's not asking for a probability, it wants people, I'm going to multiply the answer I get from this by the total number of people surveyed, which was 244, and I get 107 more people prefer dogs than birds. Okay, number 4. What percentage of students who preferred fish, okay, so they're trying to trick you here. What percentage of students who preferred fish were 9th graders? So when they hit that first chunk in there, they're trying to see if you'll just fall into their trap of just students. They kind of lengthened out that thing we saw on the first page. So what percent of students who preferred fish? So I need, that's my given, that's my fish. And before that, they need to be ninth graders. So I need ninth grade given fish. Percentage of fish is 0.131. That's my denominator because my given always goes on the bottom. Of those 0.131 people, how many preferred fish that were ninth graders? And that number is 0.090. Divide that out, and we get 68.7%. Because they restricted our sample space, that is going to be conditional frequency. They put conditions on it. They said it has to be a student who preferred fish. It's not just every student that was surveyed. Number 5, what percent of students were either 10th graders or preferred dogs? So this is also something you guys had. Remember, or means add. Okay, so I need 10th graders plus dogs, but there's a little secret in there that's going to mess us up if we only do that. So if I look at 10th graders, okay, I know the percentage of 10th graders is, I'm going to highlight, and then we'll see if we can't spot what's going on. Well, that's yesterday's. I'm going to highlight. So here we go. So we're going to 10th graders. I want all 10th graders, which adds up to 0.481. Okay, so 0.481. Wow. It's like Captain America's shield or something going on there. Maybe. Wow. I know. Still can't. So 0.481. Remember, those are our 10th graders. We are adding that to our dogs, which, let's see if I can get a bigger highlighter so it'll all add up. So dogs. Okay, we're adding that to our dogs, which is 0.48. But if you look at what we just created, okay, if you see that little piece of green, that 0.263, if I take the total number of 10th graders and the total number of dogs, that piece that's in green where my blue and yellow overlapped, that piece has been counted twice. So because it has been counted twice, we have got to eliminate that duplication. So we're going to subtract my intersection of 10th and dogs from my piece. So I'm going to subtract that 0.263. And when I do that, I end up with 69.8%. So that's just a little piece they're trying to trick you. If I add it up, so think about it in general. If I add it up, okay, if I didn't recognize that I needed to take that 0.263 out, and I add those two up, I end up with 96% of the survey preferred that. And we've got to be able to determine with our own common sense that there's no possible way that 96% of our survey was made up of dogs and 10th graders, because 51% are ninth graders. So there's no way. Now, if I want to go backwards from my relative frequency table, I'm going to take my decimals that I had. I wish I could just copy and paste, but it's not going to happen like that for me, guys. So 012, 029, 200, 148, 217, 263. We're going to take all of these, 090 and 041, okay, and we're going to multiply them by the total number of people surveyed. Okay, and the total number of people surveyed was 244. So all of these numbers are going to be multiplied by 244. Make sure you guys leave yourselves a little bit more space than I did. I'm actually going to erase these just so you guys can see my numbers. But I just wanted to show you what we're doing. So you're taking that decimal that was in our relative frequency and you're multiplying it by our total number of responses. So your numbers are going to add up like this. I know there's some rounding things going down. And generally in statistics, you do not round up a person, but for the sake of our two-way tables, you're going to determine whether or not you round up or down based off our basic rounding rules. But in the future, and a lot of times, you will see they never round up people. It's either a full person or it doesn't count, no matter how much of a percentage point of the person they give us. But for the sake of our tables, we're going to talk about just rounding up or down. All right, so those are what our numbers come out to be. I know you guys are probably like, whoa, how to do that fast? It's because I'm a wizard. So again, we got two more questions we can answer. So I've got how many 10th graders participated in the survey? So I just look at, that's a total. There's my 10th graders. Wow, that was a straight line. Okay, and on our 10th graders, we can see that 117 participated in the survey. And then on the last one, how many 9th graders preferred cats or dogs? And or means, of course, add. So how many preferred cats or dogs? So how many 9th graders preferred cats? That number is 85. Nope. Sorry, guys. 9th graders preferred cats, the number is 49. And then plus the number that preferred dogs is 53. And that adds up to be 102.